Bob Reynolds' world, both his virtual one and his flesh and blood one, is coming undone by his connection to the Golden Guardian. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the Sentry issue number 2 and find out. Alrighty then, so picking up from where the last issue left off, the Sentry's dream world had come under attack by a mysterious foe, the Sentress, the kind of cute but kind of creepy embodiment of real-world Bob's affection for Jenny, the woman he works with, attempts to get to the bottom of this, only to be met by Cranio, aka one of the Sentry's old villains who isn't the Void. Yeah, he's got other villains than the Void. For Cranio, invading this place is all part of some grand master plan. Not only will he be able to destroy the Sentry once and for all, but he'll actually have control of the Sentry's mind while he does it. And, I mean, I don't know if you can tell from this dude's name and his general theming and demeanor, but he really likes brains. Now, back in the real world, Bob is going nuts. His intersect was stolen, and if he doesn't jump into his virtual world soon, he risks becoming the Sentry again and ruining everything. He tried getting in touch with Doctor Strange, who gave him the intersect, as well as Iron Man, who's kind of watching out for him right now, but neither get back to him, being away on their own important hero business. With no one else to turn to, Bob decides to look up Billy at work, his former sidekick. Billy has been acting weird and suspicious this whole time, but you gotta admit the feeling of hurt that comes over him once he knows that he was the third choice for his former mentor is palpable. His ultimate advice is that Bob might very well not be smart enough to handle this problem on his own, but maybe the Sentry does. Maybe if he only turns back into the Golden Guardian for a few seconds, that, you know, he could stave off the coming of the Void again. Sadly, Bob doesn't get to make a choice one way or another because he's quickly cold-cocked in the face by Misty Knight, his would-be parole officer. Again, in case you forgot, this story all seems to be an allegory for getting out of jail, how people in the world changes around you and how easy it is to fall back into a rut. If that's not heartbreaking enough, eventually Bob discovers that Iron Man never really had that much faith in him anyway because he put together a whole bunker prison just in case a situation like this should happen. Tony says that maybe with enough work and effort they can trust Bob enough to let him out into the real world again, but he's going to have to show them he can be trusted. Quite understandably, this rubs Bob the wrong way, and because he's been out of the intersect for so long now, he manages to transform back into the Sentry again completely without trying to. I guess Iron Man is officially going to see if this prison can hold the Sentry, and with the Sentry back now, that means the Void isn't far behind. Of course, there's still one giant hanging question, and that is how exactly did Cranio learn about the intersect in Bob's personal fantasy world anyway? Well, that's because Jimmy told him about it. No, not Jimmy, not suspicious Jimmy. As the comic winds down, the Sentry's former sidekick says that by the time all of this is over, he'll be the new Sentry. So that was Sentry number 2, everybody, and overall I continue to really enjoy where this book is going. Yes, the twist of who the actual bad guy was you could see coming from a mile away, but Lemire, being the good writer that he is, sells it with the characterization. Yeah, Jimmy turned on his mentor, but you get a pretty good picture of what exactly the relationship is like and why the former scout would feel so jaded. I continue to really enjoy the whole parole allegory that's been permeating the whole story, and the next issue promises a big fight between Iron Man and the Sentry, and you know that's gonna be fun. Overall, I give this one an 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, if you did, why not check out some of these other videos I have on display from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And if you really like what I did, are feeling in a supportive mood, why not check out my Patreon link down in the description. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and you can do so for as little as $1 a month. So until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel. Thanks again for watching, and I will be back again with more great comic content that smacks of greatness. Bye-bye.